Welcome back to Bible Reading with Study Guide. How are you today? It's a cold, wintry day here, so I guess we can't complain. It is December, right? But it's cold. But today we're going to finish Ecclesiastes and read Song of Solomon. And you'll excuse my voice, it's still not the best. I'm getting over whatever virus or whatever I had. Kind of affected it. But let's get started. Ecclesiastes 10. Dead flies putrefy the perfumer's ointment and cause it to give off a foul odor. So does a little folly to one respected for wisdom and honor. A wise man's heart is at his right hand, but a fool's heart at his left. Even when a fool walks along the way, he lacks wisdom, and he shows everyone that he is a fool. If the spirit of the ruler rises against you, do not leave your post, for conciliation pacifies great offenses. There is an evil I've seen under the sun, as an error proceeding from the ruler. Folly is set in great dignity, while the rich sit in a lowly place. I have seen servants on horses, while princes walk on the ground like servants. He who digs a pit will fall into it, and whoever breaks through a wall will be bitten by a serpent. He who quarries stones may be hurt by them, and he who splits wood may be endangered by it. If the axe is dull, and one does not sharpen the edge, then he must use more strength. But wisdom brings success. A serpent may bite when it is not charmed. The babbler is no different. The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool shall swallow him up. The words of his mouth begin with his foolishness, and the end of his talk is raving madness. A fool also multiplies words. No man knows what is to be. Who can tell him what will be after him? The labor of fools wearies them, for they do not even know how to go to the city. Woe to you, O land, when your king is a child and your princes feast in the morning. Blessed are you, O land, when your king is the son of nobles and your princes feast at the proper time, for strength and not for drunkenness. Because of laziness the building decays, and through idleness of hands the house leaks. A feast is made for laughter, and wine makes merry, but money answers everything. Do not curse the king, even in your thought. Do not curse the rich, even in your bedroom. For a bird of the air may carry your voice, and a bird in flight may tell the matter. All right, let's see if there's any questions. Remember, we're using a study guide. If you'd like to get a copy, you can go on Amazon. In the upper banner, the lower right-hand corner, there's a link where you can get this online. Or there's also a link where you can get a free version of this online. It's the one that I started first, and then I made the workbook afterwards. So let's see if there's any questions for Ecclesiastes chapter 10. No questions, not until chapter 11. Okay, Ecclesiastes 11. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days. Give a serving to 7 and also to 8, for you do not know what evil will be on the earth. If the clouds are full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth. And if a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where the tree falls, there it shall lie. He who observes the wind will not sow, and he who regards the clouds will not reap. As you do not know what is in the way of the wind, or how the bones grow in the womb of her who is with child, so you do not know the works of God who makes everything. In the morning sow your seed, and in the evening do not withhold your hand, for you do not know which will prosper, either this or that, or whether both alike will be good. Truly, the light is sweet, and it is pleasant for the eyes to behold the sun, But if a man lives many years and rejoices in them all, yet let him remember the days of darkness, for they will be many. All that is coming is vanity. Rejoice, O young men, in your youth, and let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth. Walk in the ways of your heart and in the sight of your eyes, but know that for all these God will bring you into judgment. Therefore remove sorrow from your heart, and put away evil from your flesh. For childhood and youth are vanity. Okay, since God will bring all to judgment, what should we do? In verse 10, remove sorrow from our heart, put away evil. Okay. Ecclesiastes 12. Remember now your Creator and the days of your youth, before the difficult days come, and the years draw near, when you say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun and the light, the moon and the stars are not darkened, and the clouds do not return after the rain. And the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men bow down, when the grinders cease because they are few, those that look through the windows grow dim, when the doors are shut in the streets, and the sound of grinding is low, when one rises up at the sound of a bird, and all the daughters of music are brought low. Also they are afraid of height, and of terrors in the way. When the almond tree blossoms, the grasshopper is a burden, and desire fails. For man goes to his eternal home, and the mourners go about the streets. Remember your Creator before the silver cord is loosed, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the well. Then the dust will return to the earth as it was, and the spirit will return to God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. All is vanity. And moreover, because the preacher was wise, he so taught the people knowledge. Yes, he pondered and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find acceptable words, and what was written was upright, words of truth. The words of the wise are like goads, and the words of the scholars are like well-driven nails, given by one shepherd. And further, my son, be admonished by these. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is wearisome to the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is man's all. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. So that's his final summation. This is what was important, right? So let's see. What is the conclusion of his musings? 13 and 14. Fear God and keep his commandments. God will bring us all to judgment, and every secret thing he will reveal. Okay. Let's see. The Song of Solomon is a story of love between Solomon and one of his concubines. It is a dialogue between Solomon, the Shulamite woman, her friends, his friends, and her brothers. Okay. It's not a very long one. So let's see what Solomon wrote. Song of Solomon 1. The Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. The Shulamite. Let him kiss me with kisses of his mouth, for your love is better than wine. Because of the fragrance of your good ointments, your name is ointment poured forth. Therefore the virgins love you. Draw me away. So these are voices talking back and forth, kind of like a play. The daughters of Jerusalem. We will run after you. The Shulamite. The king has brought me into his chambers. The daughters of Jerusalem. We will be glad and rejoice in you. We will remember your love more than wine. The Shulamite. Rightly do they love you. I am dark but lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. Do not look upon me because I am dark, because the sun has tanned me. My mother's sons were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but my own vineyard I have not kept. To her beloved, tell me, O you whom I love, where do you feed your flock? Will you make it rest at noon? Why should I be as one who veils herself by the flocks of your companions? The beloved. If you do not know, O fairest among women, follow in the footsteps of the flock, and feed your little goats beside the shepherd's tents. I have compared you, my love, to my filly among Pharaoh's chariots. Your cheeks are lovely with ornaments, and your neck with chains of gold. The daughters of Jerusalem. We will make you ornaments of gold, with studs of silver. The Shulamite. While the king is at his table, my spikenard sends forth its fragrance. A bundle of myrrh is my beloved to me, that lies all night between my breasts. My beloved is to me a cluster of henna blooms in the vineyards of En-gedi. The beloved. Behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. You have dove's eyes. The Shulamite. Behold, you are handsome, my beloved. Yes, pleasant. Also our bed is green, and the beams of our house are cedar, and our rafters of fir. Okay, that was a short chapter. One question. Why did she get tanned? Instead of protecting herself from the sun? Why did she get tanned? Because her brothers made her the keeper of the vineyard. She had to work outside and take care of the vineyard, so she was not protected. Okay, Solomon, Song of Solomon 2. I am the rose of Sharon and the lily of the valleys. The beloved. Like a lily among thorns, so is my love among the daughters. The Shulamite. Like an apple tree among the trees of the woods, so is my beloved among the sons. I sat down in his shade with great delight, and his fruit was sweet to my taste. The Shulamite to the daughters of Jerusalem. He brought me to the banqueting house, and his banner over me was love. Sustain me with cakes of raisins, refresh me with apples, for I am lovesick. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up nor waken love until it pleases. The Shulamite. The voice of my beloved, behold, he comes, leaping upon the mountains, skipping upon the hills. My beloved is like a gazelle or a young stag. Behold, he stands behind our wall. He is looking through the windows, gazing through the lattice. My beloved spoke and said to me, Rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. For lo, the winter is past, and the rain is over and gone. The flowers appear on the earth, and the time of singing has come, and the voice of the turtle dove is heard in our land. The fig tree puts forth her green figs, and the vines with the tender grapes. Give a good smell, rise up, my love, my fair one, and come away. O my dove, in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the cliff, let me see your face, let me hear your voice, for your voice is sweet, and your face is lovely. Her brothers. Catch us, the little foxes that spoil the vines, for our vines have tender grapes. The Shulamite. My beloved is mine, and I am his. He feeds his flock among the lilies. To her beloved. Until the day breaks, and the shadows flee away, turn, my beloved, and be like a gazelle, or a young stag, upon the mountains of Bether. Okay. What does she compare her beloved in verse 9? Like a gazelle, a young deer type of animal, right? Okay. All right. Song of Solomon 3, the Shulamite. By night on my bed I sought the one I love. I sought him, but I did not find him. I will arise now, I said, and go about the city. In the streets and in the squares, I will seek the one I love. I sought him, but I did not find him. The watchmen who go about the city found me. I said, Have you seen the one I love? Scarcely had I passed by them when I found the one I love. I held him and would not let him go until I brought him to the house of my mother and into the chamber of her who conceived me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, by the gazelles or by the does of the field, do not stir up or awaken love until it pleases. The Shulamite. Who is this coming out of the wilderness, like pillars of smoke, perfumed with myrrh and frankincense, with the merchant's fragrant powders? Behold, it is Solomon's couch, with 60 valiant men around it, of the valiant of Israel. They all hold swords, being expert in war. Every man has his sword on his side, because of fear in the night. Of the wood of Lebanon, Solomon the king made himself a palanquin. That might be a chair, I understand. He made its pillars of silver, its support of gold, its seat of purple, its interior paved with love by the daughters of Jerusalem. Go forth, O daughters of Zion, and see King Solomon with the crown, with which his mother crowned him on the day of his wedding, the day of the gladness of his heart. Okay, anything in 3. What time of day does she go looking for him? She said at night. She went around the city at night, looking through all the different streets and everywhere, and asked the watchman, had he seen him? So it was at nighttime, right? Okay, Song of Solomon 4. Behold, you are fair, my love. Behold, you are fair. This is the beloved speaking. You have dove's eyes behind your veil. Your hair is like a flock of goats, going down from Mount Gilead. Your teeth are like a flock of shorn sheep, which have come up from the washing, every one of which bears twins, and none is barren among them. Your lips are like a strand of scarlet, and your mouth is lovely. Your temples behind your veil are like a piece of pomegranate. Your neck is like the Tower of David, built for an armory, on which hang a thousand bucklers, all shields of mighty men. Your 2 breasts are like 2 fawns, twins of a gazelle, which feed among the lilies. Until the day breaks and the shadows flee away, I will go my way to the mountain of myrrh and to the hill of frankincense. You are all fair, my love, and there is no spot in you. Come with me from Lebanon, my spouse, with me from Lebanon. Look from the top of Amana, from the top of Senir and Hermon, from the lion's dens and from the mountains of the leopards. You have ravished my heart, my sister, my spouse. You have ravished my heart with one look of your eyes, with one link of your necklace. How fair is your love, my sister, my spouse. How much better than wine is your love, and the scent of your perfumes than all spices. Your lips, O my spouse, drip as the honeycomb. Honey and milk are under your tongue, and the fragrance of your garments is like the fragrance of Lebanon. A garden enclosed is my sister, my spouse, my spring, a spring shut up, a fountain sealed. Your plants are an orchard of pomegranates with pleasant fruits. Fragrant henna with spikenard and saffron, calamus and cinnamon, with all the trees of frankincense, myrrh and aloes, with all their chief spices. A fountain of gardens, a well of living waters, and streams from Lebanon. The Shulamite. Awake, O north wind, and come, O south. Blow upon my garden, that its spices may flow out. Let my beloved come to his garden and eat its pleasant fruits. The beloved. Oh, that's the end of chapter 4. Okay? I don't understand. I don't pretend to understand this. I'm just reading it. You can research it yourself. This is one book that a lot of even the best scholars have difficulties with. So I don't plan on explaining any of it. I'm just reading it. Song of Solomon 5. I have come to my garden, my sister, my spouse. I have gathered my myrrh with my spice. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. To his friends. Eat, O friends, drink. Yes, drink deeply, O beloved ones. The Shulamite. I sleep, but my heart is awake. It is the voice of my beloved. He knocks, saying, Open for me, my sister, my love, my dove, my perfect one. For my head is covered with dew, my locks with the drops of the night. I've taken off my robe, how can I put it on again? I've washed my feet, how can I defile them? My beloved put his hand by the latch of the door, and my heart yearned for him. I arose to open for my beloved, and my hands dripped with myrrh, and my fingers with liquid myrrh, on the handles of the lock. I opened for my beloved, but my beloved had turned away and was gone. My heart leaped up when he spoke. I sought him, but I could not find him. I called him, but he gave me no answer. The watchmen who went about the city found me. They struck me, they wounded me. The keepers of the walls took my veil away from me. I charge you, O daughters of Jerusalem, if you find my beloved, that you tell him I am lovesick. The daughters of Jerusalem, what is your beloved more than any other beloved, more than another beloved, O fairest among women? What is your beloved more than another beloved, that you so charge us? The Shulamite, my beloved is white and ruddy, ready, chief among 10,000. His head is like the finest gold. His locks are wavy and black as a raven. His eyes are like doves by the rivers of waters, washed with milk and fitly set. His cheeks are like a bed of spices, banks of scented herbs. His lips are lilies dripping liquid myrrh. His hands are rods of gold set with beryl. His body is carved ivory, inlaid with sapphires. His legs are pillars of marble, set on bases of fine gold. His countenance is like Lebanon, excellent as the cedars. His mouth is most sweet. Yes, he is altogether lovely. This is my beloved, and this is my friend, O daughters of Jerusalem. Okay, I think there's some questions for 5. Did she answer him when he knocked on the door? 1 through 6. She tried to, but apparently by the time she got there and unlocked the door, he was gone. Okay. Song of Solomon 6. Where has your beloved gone, O fairest among women? Where has your beloved turned aside, that we may seek him with you? The Shulamite. My beloved has gone to his garden, to the beds of spices, to feed his flock in the gardens, and to gather lilies. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. He feeds his flock among the lilies. Beloved, O my love, you are as beautiful as Tirzah, lovely as Jerusalem, awesome as an army with banners. Turn your eyes away from me, for they have overcome me. Your hair is like a flock of goats going down from Gilead. Your teeth are like a flock of sheep which have come up from the washing. Everyone bears twins, and none is barren among them. Like a piece of pomegranate are your temples behind your veil. There are 60 queens and 80 concubines, and virgins without number. My dove, my perfect one, is the only one of her mother, the favorite of the one who bore her. The daughter saw her and called her blessed, the queens and the concubines, and they praised her. Who is she who looks forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, awesome as an army of banners? The Shulamite. I went down to the garden of nuts to see the verdure of the valley, to see whether the vine had budded and the pomegranates had bloomed. Before I was even aware, my soul had made me as the chariots of my noble people. The beloved and his friends. Return, return, O Shulamite. Return, return, that we may look upon you. Shulamite. What would you see in the Shulamite? As it were, the dances of the 2 camps? Okay. No questions for 6. Song of Solomon 7. The beloved. How beautiful are your feet in sandals, O prince's daughter. The curves of your thighs are like jewels, the work of the hands of a skillful workman. Your navel is a rounded goblet. It lacks no blended beverage. Your waist is a heap of wheat, set about with lilies. Your 2 breasts are like 2 fawns, twins of a gazelle. Your neck is like an ivory tower, your eyes like the pools of Heshbon, by the gate of Bath Rabbin. Your nose is like the tower of Lebanon, which looks toward Damascus. Your head crowns you like Mount Carmel, and the hair of your head is like purple. A king is held captive by your tresses. How fair and how pleasant you are, O love, with your delights. This statue of yours is like a palm tree, and your breasts like clusters. I said, I will go up to the palm tree. I will take hold of its branches. Let now your breasts be like clusters of the vine, and your fragrance of your breath like apples, and the roof of your mouth like the best wine. The Shulamite. The wine goes down smoothly for my beloved, moving gently the lips of sleepers. I am my beloved's, and his desire is toward me. Come, my beloved, let us go forth to the field. Let us lodge in the villages. Let us get up early to the vineyards. Let us see if the vine has budded, whether the grape blossoms are open, and the pomegranates are in bloom. There I will give you my love. The mandrakes give off a fragrance, and at our gates are pleasant fruits, all manner, new and old, which I have laid up for you, my beloved. Okay, no question for chapter 7. Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Oh, that you were like my brother, who nursed at my mother's breast. If I should find you outside, I would kiss you. I would not be despised. I would lead you and bring you into the house of my mother, who used to instruct me. I would cause you to drink of spiced wine, of the juice of my pomegranate. The daughters of Jerusalem. His left hand is under my head, and his right hand embraces me. I charge you, daughters of Jerusalem, do not stir up nor awaken love until it pleases. A relative. Who is this coming up from the wilderness, leaning upon her beloved? I awakened you under the apple tree. There your mother brought you forth. There she who bore you brought you forth. The Shulamite to her beloved. Set me as a seal upon your heart, as a seal upon your arm, for love is as strong as death, jealousy as cruel as the grave. Its flames are flames of fire, a most vehement flame. Many waters cannot quench love, nor can the floods drown it. If a man would give for love all the wealth of his house, he would be utterly despised. The Shulamite's brothers. We have a little sister, she has no breast. What shall we do for our sister in the day when she is spoken for? If she is a wall, we will build upon her a battlement of silver, and if she is a door, we will enclose her with boards of cedar. The Shulamite. I am a wall, and my breasts like towers. Then I become in his eyes as one who found peace. Solomon had a vineyard at Baal Haman. He leased a vineyard to keepers. Every one was to bring forth its fruit, 1,000 silver coins. Bring forth its fruit, 1,000 silver coins. To Solomon, my own vineyard is before me. You, O Solomon, may have 1,000, and those who tend its fruit, 200. To the beloved, you who dwell in the gardens, the companions, listen for your voice. Let me hear it. The Shulamite. Make haste, my beloved, and be like a gazelle or young stag on the mountains of spices. Okay. Can anything quench true love? In verse 7. Many waters cannot quench love, nor can the floods drown it. No. Okay, this has completed our reading of the Old Testament. We read through chronologically as best we could, and then ended up with the books on the poetry books, the wisdom books of wisdom, and that kind of, although it happened back in chronologically, it was difficult to put that in place. But currently, we have just now finished all of the Old Testament. Now we will begin the study of the New Testament, starting with the Gospels that are told by 4 different men. Matthew writes with a Jew in mind and what they would relate to. This lesson, the next lesson, lesson 38, includes direct teaching and teaching using stories. It begins with the birth of Jesus and his cousin John the Baptist. Did you know they were related? Okay, we have finished the Old Testament. And I'm guessing that's about 2/3 as far as pages go. Maybe even more, maybe 3/4. So we've read up in my Bible, which is just a simple New King James Version put out by the American Bible Society. I've read over 900 pages, and there's 1,200 and some, so about 3/4 of the way through. I'm grateful for all of you who have joined me in this reading. I hope you're enjoying it. Be sure to hit the like button and share. Maybe spread the word. Maybe there are people out there that you know of that would like to read the Bible, but kind of get lost in it themselves. Maybe you know people in care homes and nursing homes that would like to listen to the Bible being read. Be sure to share that with them. All right. See you next time.